Hi, my name is Yvonne Roberts, and I am here to share my testimony about a topic that I heard Joyce Meyers talking about this morning. And she was talking about how to love people who are unlovable. And it reminded me of a time, back in 2003, I had first made a decision to give my life to Christ, seriously, if you will. I had done it a few times before then, but I continued to live the same kind of lifestyle, do the same things that I was doing, living how I wanted to live and still do what I wanted to do. And I got tired of it. I finally come to the end of my road in my addiction. I got to the point to where I wasn't even happy doing what I was doing anymore. And for me, it wasn't worth it anymore. I just came to a complete dead end. And I had run my course. So I made a decision that I wanted to give my life to God seriously. And I wanted to do it the right way. Friend of mine, while I was out on the street, at the time when he passed away, he was a friend of mine. But when he first came to me, we were not friends at all. He was just a guy that I used to see at church a lot. And he was a friend of someone who was already a friend of mine. She was a beautiful lady. She sang at the church. She was on the worship team. She and I were in discipleship together. And that's how I knew him, through her. But we weren't friends. And apparently at some point she had made a decision to, start her life over and give it another shot, because she was in addiction too. And apparently they had gotten together and decided to pray and was trying to figure out where I was, and she wanted me in the home. So she sent him to come and get me, because I had always told people in the church where my hangout used to be, just in case something ever happened to me, and they knew where to find me. So I made sure that they had my address. I made sure that they knew where my hangout was, just in case something happened and they needed to find me. Anyway, I was out there doing what I always do, sitting there doing my junk, and we were chatting and talking. And his Escalade pulls up, and, of course, everybody thought it was the police, so they all jumped up and scattered, or either they threw their stuff away or whatever. Started hiding stuff, and he pulls up and rolls down the windows, and I immediately knew who he was, and I said, "Uncle Charles," and he said, "Yeah, it's me." I said, "What are you doing here?" He says, "Well, God sent me here, and he told me that I'm to bring you back with me, and that I'm to take you to this house. And if you don't like the house, that's fine. You don't have to stay there for me to bring you back. But I can't leave here without you." So I said, "Okay." I knew deep down in my heart that it was God. It was God rescuing me, if you will. And I knew deep down inside my heart that it was time for me to go. I knew that my time was up being out in the street because I really had a desire to not be there anymore. It really had run its course on me. Physically, mentally, emotionally, I was pretty done. And he took the keys out of the car and laid his head back on the headrest and said, well, when you get ready to go, I'm ready. But I can't go anywhere unless you're with me. So everybody kind of looked at me like, well, see you later. Everybody was, happy to see me go. They really wanted, me gone. I was always told that I had no business being there. So they all hugged me and we said our goodbyes. I kind of knew I wouldn't see them anymore. And so I left that day back in 2003. Actually, I remember the day to the month. It was in day. It was March 3rd, 2003. That day I left with Uncle Charles and went to the home, and that's where I did my second half of my discipleship, I guess you could say. I've already did the first part at an institution here in Phoenix. But anyway, I went to this home, and my friend was already there, and she and I really wasn't getting along too well. We were having some problems. She and I weren't seeing eye to eye on certain things that was really making me feel bad. It was making her feel bad. We were constantly bumping heads. And one morning she picked up my cup of coffee, and she says, well, Vonnie, you really need to have a protector under your cup for your coffee. Please don't sit it on the table without a protector. And I got upset when I told her, who the hell are you to tell me what I need? And you don't tell me what to do. If I don't want a protector, I don't have to have one. I took the protector and threw it in the corner. And that set it off. We went to arguing with each other. It was pretty much like that every morning. She loved to sing. She would start singing. I love her voice. She had a beautiful, beautiful voice. But she would sing every morning about 7 o'clock. And it was very irritating as I was trying to watch Joyce Meyers and Creflo Dollar and some of the other TBN broadcast programs, and trying to learn my Christian walk and how to do it right this time. And we would argue all continuously at each other's throats to the point to where we were really going to hurt each other, and really get to the point to where we would not speak to each other again. So Joyce, one morning, she was talking about how to love the unlovable, how to love people that were hard to love, and how to love difficult people. And I really wanted to learn how to do that. The Bible talks about be doers of the word and not hearers only. And I think that we had gotten too comfortable with just being hearers and not doers. Anyway, that really struck a chord in my heart, and I really paid attention to what she said. And I remember this particular morning, Joyce said, if you're planning on making a change, if you want to be a doer of the word, then love somebody today. If you're angry with somebody, if someone's hurt you or whatever it is, go to that person and tell that person you love them. Give that person a hug. And try to work with the person so the two of you can learn to work your differences out. But you got to take the first step in learning how to do that if you've never done it. And I did exactly what Joyce said. I set my book down and I said, okay, God, I'm going to try to mend this thing up with Sybil because I really don't want she and I to be angry with each other. I want to try to make this right. I don't want to be this way with her, and I know she don't want to be this way with me. We've been friends for a very long time, and we now live together in a home, and we're both trying to start our lives over, but we're not doing it too well because we can't even get along. So I did what Joyce said. I set my book down. Sybil was in the backyard. She was sitting there with her head hung down, smoking a cigarette. And after she and I just got through biting each other's throats. And I went out there and I told her, I said, Sybil, I said, I love you. I said, I don't want it to be this way with us. We've been friends for a very long time. I really don't want to lose your friendship. You're very important to me, and I just want us to get along, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to do that. Please forgive me. She looked up at me with tears in her eyes, and she said, Vonnie, I feel the same way, and I don't want us to do this with each other. It's really hurting me, and so let's just start over. Can we start over? And I said, absolutely. I said, I love you. She said she loved me. We gave each other a hug. We cried. And from that day on, she and I have been very, very good friends. In the home, we worked together. We laughed together. We cried together. We had a good time together. But we were never at each other's throats again. And we just helped each other. So I want to say to anybody out there that if you're having a problem with trying to love somebody, just if you don't know how to do that, I suggest that you take the time to learn from someone how to do that, because I learned how to love difficult people through Joyce Meyers Ministries, and that's one thing that I learned from Joyce. If I didn't learn anything else, I learned that from her that day, and I thank God for it. Thank you for listening to me today. I hope and pray that what I've said is an encouragement for someone to get it right with someone that you may be in a difficult relationship with. God bless you. Have a good day. And we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.